This episode really furthered all the mysteries that were introduced in the Watchmen premiere. We have no idea what kind of sick experiment Adrian Veidt is playing at with his servants, or why everyone believes he is dead. I was right about his servants being clones he created. Mutating creatures in a lab was always his thing, so it wasn't too hard to guess it. It seems like in his old age he's become obsessed with Dr. Manhattan, and why wouldn't he be? There's a real superhero somewhere out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to recreate the accident that turned John Osterman into Dr. Manhattan. Although he is going about it in a very unethical way. He always has been a very dramatic anti-hero. Adrian's not going to make any progress setting them on fire, however. With all his money and resources, I'm sure he's already got his hands on a real intrinsic field chamber. It's the made-up comic book machine in this world that separates particles and what accidentally created Dr. Manhattan. John Osterman's body was torn apart in the lab that he worked at alongside with his girlfriend. The doors locked on him when he went to go get his girlfriend's watch. Adrian Veidt was adamant about wanting real tears to flow from the female serving clone when the male clone was set on fire, which is interesting. Maybe he thinks emotional ties have something to do with being able to put your body back together after its particles are separated. This scene had me thinking that maybe that blue man we saw in the trailer for the show wasn't actually Dr. Manhattan, but a clone made by Adrian. I wouldn't be surprised if the creator of this HBO show, Damon Lindelof, would want to leave the real Dr. Manhattan out of the story, out of respect for the writer of the comic, Alan Moore, who doesn't want any of these adaptations made or have anything to do with them. That's why when the credits roll for this show or the movie, his name is never credited. In the ending of his story, he had Dr. Manhattan leave Earth to start some life of his own in another galaxy. Bringing him back for the HBO show would go against Alan Moore's story. But Adrian isn't the only suspicious character lurking. Old Grandpa Will has a secret agenda of his own. With all the mysteries surrounding this episode, we do get to learn some things about our main character, Angela Abar. I called her Angela Abraham in last week's video because that's how HBO originally promoted her, but I guess they've since changed her last name to Abar. We learn that she's in fact Will's granddaughter, so the descendant of Will's father who fought in World War I. We also find out how her and her black husband have 3 white children. Her patrol partner before cops wore masks was killed in his sleep along with his wife. Their eldest son hid in the closet with his sisters until it was safe. Angela must have cared deeply for her partner to take in his children. We see what looks like their real grandfather sitting outside their home demanding visitation time, but he's clearly another one of the racists in town. Angela may have known that he was an asshole, so fostered them instead of being raised in that household. But the biggest question of the day is, who is Will working with? He knew Judd was not who he presented himself to be. He had a KKK getup in a secret closet, so he could have been the one who set up the White Knight. Angela was spared for a reason. Maybe he didn't want her dead. But that senator during Angela's house snooping was very suspicious. There was too much emphasis on him to not have a bigger role to come. That whole secret closet scene was another homage to the original comic and movie. Rorschach went looking through the comedian's apartment and found his costume in a similar way. There's a few of these throwbacks in this episode, like the whole Minuteman TV scene was shot in a similar style to the Watchmen stylistic action scenes, with all the fast forward and slow-mos. I thought it was fun, and wouldn't mind seeing more of the TV retellings of the Minutemen. They are the group that inspired the Watchmen, the first crime-fighting vigilante group in this world. As for who freed Will from his handcuffs and rescued him with that giant flying magnet ship at the end of the episode, I'm tempted to say Night Owl, but I did read somewhere that Damon Lindelof decided not to include this original Watchmen character. If we look through HBO's website, it says Night Owl is in FBI custody, but Laurie, his Watchmen partner in the comics and movie, now works for the FBI, so I still think it's likely to be him. A lot of you guys have been voicing your disgust with the show, claiming it to be identity politics, or having too many social justice warrior themes. Some of y'all really need to chill out. These buzzwords are thrown around everywhere. Not every writer is out to trigger you. Just enjoy the story, and if you don't, stop watching. It isn't all that serious. I personally find a world where reparations were given out a cool what-if scenario. Damon's perspective on how things may play out in this over-the-top world is interesting. I don't think there's a need to cry over racism being in this show. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the topic, and this mystery-shrouded episode. These videos are probably going to be a weekly thing, so I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.